phenomenal. A 1.48 ERA, the best in the American League. 0.93 ERA at home. That is correct. Under 1. A club record 7 quality starts to begin this 2010 season. And 69 2/3 innings without giving up a home run here at the ballpark. His performance, astonishing. His presence, a springboard for success. He's C.J. Wilson, and he's on the hill tonight to face the Angels. This season, engage in a bro hug real quick. Nelson Cruz, Josh Hamilton, that means you. The Rangers and the Angels play game 2 of an abbreviated 2-game series tonight. And yes, C.J. Wilson is on the mound. Who would you rather have the way it's gone here in 2010? We welcome you to Texas Ranger Baseball. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Josh Lewin. And yeah, C.J. Wilson wanted this opportunity. You talked about sticking the landing. He has done everything right as a Texas Ranger starter.
Yeah, you can look at CJ's line and study the stats, and we just picked out 4 or 5 things. The one thing that I think stands out to me as much as anything is the fact that he's averaged about 7 innings per start, more than any one of our starters. And I wish I knew where he ranked in the league on that. I'll find out before the game's over. But not many guys, whether they've started 1 game or whether they've started for 10 years, average about 7 innings per start. That was the question. Could he pitch deep enough into the game? The answer is a resounding yes.
Well, and that slugging percentage, that's just silly right there. He's given up 4 doubles in 7 starts, and that's it. We mentioned no home runs this year. In fact, it goes all the way back to last year. He's doing everything right. And the Rangers lately, well, they can say that about themselves as a collective. A nice 4-3 win yesterday. Going to be tough to get 4 runs tonight because of who's on the mound for the Halos. That is Jared Weaver, and he is top 10 in the league in ERA as well. Great pitching matchup tonight. Rangers and the Angels are coming up next. Texas Ranger Baseball brought to you tonight by the Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Progressive. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. By Jack in the Box. Right now, choose any three for only $3 plus tax. By Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Really nice night for baseball tonight. And C.J. Wilson has turned every night that he's on the mound into a thing of beauty so far. He leads the American League with a 1.48 ERA. Taking on a very prolific Angel lineup. The Angels are only 18-22 right now. They're in third in the AL West. Ibar and Kendrick, Abreu and Hunter, Morales and Matsui, Rivera and Napoli, who hit a home run last night and almost made it two. Brandon Wood batting ninth. And a guy that grew up about 15 minutes from the Big A in Anaheim. C.J. Wilson scouting him out here courtesy of Suzuki.
He's had 7 starts, and they've all gone well. Every one has been a quality start. Not many walks, a lot of strikeouts. Opponent's batting average is the 5th lowest in the league. He's only given up 4 extra base hits, and they're all doubles.
1 pitch, 1 bad bunt, and 1 out. Eric Ibar trying to finagle his way on against C.J. 81 degrees at game time, and a nice Tuesday night crowd turning out. Hamilton's back in the lineup after a night off last night with Bourbon and Cruz out there. Young Andrews, Kinsler, and Smoke. And the veteran catcher Matt Trainer catching a Christopher John Wilson tonight.
And Josh, as I promised during the game, I was going to find out what pitcher in the league averages more innings per start than CJ. It's not scientific, but if it's at least 8 starts, Matt Garza and Ricky Romero are probably the only 2 that are averaging slightly more, maybe a third of a more innings per start than CJ.
Well, and Matt Garza and Ricky Romero have been there, done that as a starter before. CJ, of course, hasn't started since 2005.
If CJ throws 7 1/3 tonight, he will average exactly 7 innings per start. If he throws 8 innings, he will average more innings per start than anybody in the league. That's pretty amazing. Not just talking about within the Ranger staff, you're talking about in the whole league.
And that was precisely the concern, is how durable would he be? The answer is very. A lot of righties in the lineup for Mike Scioscia tonight. CJ's allowed only 3 hits to lefties the entire season. That, too, is best in the league. In fact, best in the major leagues. Lefties are 3 for 44 against CJ.
I think a lot of things make CJ tough, but for a hitter, one of the toughest things has to be how many different ways the ball moves. He can sink it, he can cut it, he makes it curve, and then he changes speeds with all of them as well. So you never really get the good part of the bat on the ball because you don't know exactly where it's going to break.
Major League ERA leaders. There are 3 National League guys a little bit ahead of CJ right now, but the only AL face in that fivesome is that of CJ Wilson.
And there's some guys that, that have pretty good stuff. Their fastball's kind of straight, and when they don't have good location, they just get lit up. CJ's the kind of guy that, he may have a bad game eventually, but he's the kind of guy that doesn't get lit up. He may walk a couple of guys, a couple of cheap hits, and they might score some runs, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to face 5 hitters and give up 2 home runs, a couple of doubles, and a line shot up the middle. It's just the way he keeps the ball down, the way his ball sinks and cuts. The hitters just don't get that many good swings against him, and he's just not likely to have that happen. To me, he'd be a very frustrating guy to hit against because you just can't time it. You can't guess along with him. And even if you guess the right pitch, it's got such good movement on it, it's still hard to hit it. That's what we've seen through 8 starts anyway.
That's why it's about 70 innings now in this ballpark without allowing a home run. And think about that. I mean, as much as we talk about the jet stream here and what a friendly ballpark it is for home run hitters, CJ is the all-timer in the history of this ballpark, the most innings in a row without allowing a home run. In there, and down goes Bobby Abreu. It's a 1-2-3 first. And the greatness of CJ continues. Elvis Andrus will be leading off against Jared Weaver when we come back. Tonight, he's got the 8th best ERA in the league. C.J. Wilson has already been heard from, and he's got the number 1 ERA in the league, as we've discussed. Here's what the Rangers have tonight. Andrews, Young, and Kinsler batting 3rd again. Josh Hamilton's back in the lineup, but hitting 5th behind Vladimir Guerrero. Nelson Cruz, Justin Smoke, Matt Trainer, and Julio Bourbon. The Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Ron Washington. Another SoCal native, used to have that long hair just like C.J. Wilson. That doesn't look like Jared Weaver without the Jeff Spicoli blonde hair blowing all around. He's gone short with that. And the ERA has been trimmed up nicely, too.
Yeah, and he's been throwing the ball better this year than he ever has. And he had a really good season last year. He had 12 strikeouts in his last start. That was a career high. Strikeout to walk ratio is very impressive. He's only walked 12 in 51 innings, and he struck out 59 in 51 innings. He's early in the season pitching better now than he ever has.
Very tough for righties to hit. You can see why. The way he kind of contorts his body. He's got that long, lean build, and he hides the ball so well as he just kind of twists and turns before delivering. Yeah, you mentioned, Tom, 12 strikeouts in his last start. That was a loss to David Price in Tampa Bay. He only gave up 1 earned run in those 7 innings, though. Tall and angular, and the ball just gets on you a little bit differently if you're the batter. Inside to Elvis, who had that unbelievable defensive play last night to rob Torrey Hunter in the 8th inning. Everybody's still buzzing about that, especially Torrey Hunter. Couldn't believe he was out.
And he's having another good at bat to lead off the ball game. He's seen 6 pitches. This will be the 7th pitch. And pretty much grown accustomed to seeing these kind of at bats from Elvis.
And the kind of defense that he threw out there yesterday as well. Might be hyperbole, but Torrey Hunter wasn't backing down from this statement. The Geico quote of the day. And Torrey Hunter's been doing this for a while, so that's the best play that's been made on me ever.
I love that. That was a sweet play the more I think about it. And that comes from a guy who's made his share of plays that hitters have said the same thing about.
That is very true. Slowly hit. Another very good defensive shortstop is Ibar, and he's got Elvis Andrus. We'll show you the play we're talking about. Home Depot doing more on defense. Ron Washington said that from the dugout, he just assumed that Elvis threw that ball from his knees. He didn't figure he'd have had time to get up the way he did. Look how quick that is.
Yeah, and then not just to get up, but to get up and have your feet in perfect position to make that long and strong and accurate a throw.
I think the Rangers top to bottom yesterday, Tag, played with a lot of energy. Like they were home playing their longtime rival.
Well, I think it was important to come back home and play well after the 3 games in Toronto that didn't go well. You come back home, and it's early in the season, and all the games count the same, but that was an important game yesterday, just to come back and play well.
Michael Young drills one. Left center field. It's going to roll to the Geico sign. Young motors to second base. He's got a 1-out double.
Michael took advantage of that breaking ball from Weaver. It hung up about belt high, and he drove it into the gap. Have a man on scoring position. That ball actually had stayed on the inside half of the plate. Even better for Michael.
Career base hit number 1708. 40 away from becoming the all-time franchise leader. Michael and Ian Kinsler together again, so to speak here, Tom. They were double play partners, and they hit 1 and 2 in the batting order last year. So they're used to being kind of entwined with each other. Now it's as the number 2 and number 3 hitters. Kinsler taking over Josh Hamilton's spot, at least for now.
Well, you know, Josh was struggling a little bit. Ian is hitting the ball well, and Ian, I think, has perfect talent for the 3rd spot in the lineup. He's got speed. He's taking walks. He's hitting the ball to all field. He's got power. Really, it's a good spot for him in the lineup right now.
I look at the National League equivalents of Ian Kinsler, second baseman with that blend of power and speed. Dan Uggla has hit 3rd for Florida. Chase Utley has hit 3rd for Philly.
Robinson Cano could hit 3rd if he wasn't on the Yankees.
And how different that second base position is from about a generation ago.
Dustin Pedroia could hit 3rd.
Kinsler in the air. Torrey Hunter's got a beat on it. Young is tagging but will not go anywhere. And the former Angel Vlad Guerrero coming up. Vladdy had a couple of hits yesterday against his old team, including what he figured was the shortest double he'd ever hit. Just kind of plunked one down in shallow right.
Well, he enjoyed it thoroughly because he was smiling going to second base.
He saw nobody covering second base, so he just kept going. Guerrero had some big hits in support of Jared Weaver many times, including in the playoffs last year. Weaver pitched a 2-hitter against Boston last October. The Angels ended up sweeping the Red Sox in that division series. Vlad Guerrero had the big hit off Jonathan Papelbon to seal the deal in Game 3. See where Papelbon gave it up completely for the Red Sox yesterday.
Well, you know, that's just another example of how tough it is to be a closer. Papelbon's one of the best closers in baseball and has been for quite a while. Yet even he can have a day like that where he gives up a couple of home runs to lose a game. Mariano Rivera gave up the grand slam. So, you know, when Neftali has a game where he gives up a lead and gives up a home run, there's a little bit of precedent for that with guys who have done it for a long time and been the best in baseball. It can happen to a closer.
Best thing for a closer to have, really, when you think about it, is a short memory, because it is going to happen to everybody.
It just, you know, when it happens to a closer, generally the game is over. And it is something that sticks in every fan's mind. So there's just not much margin for error. To get a save, you have to be within 3 runs. Most of the time it's a 1 or 2 run game. You just don't have a whole lot of margin for error. That's why when you see guys go 39 out of 40 in save opportunities, it's a pretty remarkable accomplishment.
And if you're giving up runs, it means you're giving it up when it matters, and you have to be able to shrug that off. Vlad Guerrero goes down and pegs it into left center field. Rivera trotting back makes an over-the-shoulder catch. Young is stranded in the Rangers' do not score. 0-0 as predicted at the end of one. And we progress to the second inning with C.J. Wilson about to face Torrey Hunter, and we go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. Look who we have in Community Corner tonight. It's the great Jim Reeves. He is a big part of Miracle League, a great organization. You've been part of that for the last 5 years?
You bet. And we're in our fifth year now. We run spring seasons and fall seasons, and we give kids a chance to play baseball. And the Rangers have been partners with us in this since the beginning, and we really appreciate what they've done for us.
Always needing volunteers. And for those who want to help out, Jim, what do they need to do?
Just go to our website, mldfw.com. Come see us. We'd love to have you. We need buddies. We need coaches. We need people to come out and support these kids. We're giving kids with all abilities and disabilities a chance to play baseball. Many of them, most of them, for the first time, Jim.
All right. You see the information on the screen as well as the telephone number. Jim, great seeing you.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Jim, and welcome, Revo. And that's an organization near and dear to the Tom and Kathy Grieve household as well.
Yeah, my wife has been a buddy ever since the Miracle League came to Arlington. I haven't taken part in it myself. I've gone out to several of the games to watch her, and she always comes home in a great frame of mind and feels like she gets more out of it than the kids do. But it's a very worthwhile thing. It's so much fun to watch. They've got a beautiful field out at Randall Mill Park that was built a few years ago. Nice stadium. Have a public address announcer. They play music. The kids have nicknames. They feel like they're in a big league game.
But C.J. Wilson in a fastball count dropped something, not a fastball, in there on Torrey Hunter.
No, you could tell the way Torrey swung at it. He thought it was a fastball.
Hunter having a strong season, 13 doubles, 22 runs batted in. And he will take walk. CJ has walked either 2 or 3 batters in every start. Good news is he hasn't yet seen a number like 4 or 5, but as critical as he is of his own work, he'd like to see a 0 or a 1 and not a 2 or a 3. Outside to Kendry Morales. Seven quality starts for CJ, but only 3 wins. And that basically is a byproduct of not so hot run support. Second worst in the AL right now. That ball bombed in a center. Back goes Bourbon. He's going to race it down at the track.
One thing we've seen the last couple of days is the ball has not carried like it does some nights here where there's a jet stream. There's plenty of nights where the ball that Napoli hit last night would have gone out. Some nights where even this ball would go out. The pitch is right down the middle of the plate. And Morales, who has good power, hit it hard. But tonight, the way the wind is blowing, the way the elements are, it stays in the park. Some nights it won't. CJ got away with a pitch right there.
Going to face Hideki Matsui now, who is the rare lefty that hits lefties very well. And Mike Scioscia not shy at all about having this particular left-hand bat in there. Last year, Matsui had the best slugging percentage of any lefty versus lefties in all of baseball.
Yeah, Matsui in his career is a .293 hitter against lefties, .291 against righties. Actually has had a higher batting average against lefties.
Ken Griffey Jr. used to be like that too, a lefty who would just kill left-hand pitching.
Boy, it'd be a bad time for a wild pitch right now. See that bird walking back there?
Yup. Matsui going to make sure that doesn't happen. The bird is now gone, Tom.
The bird's
so
in safe territory right now. Going to the Ranger on deck circle.
Our cameraman is shooting the pigeon.
Pretty popular place for birds, though, with all the sunflower seeds the players discard out there.
Snap throw to first, and Torrey Hunter's back in time. That's a good little segue, actually, to remind everybody that the Cubs are coming to town. Marlon Byrd, still top 5 in the league in hitting in the National League. Big crowds expected this weekend for the Cubbies.
Yeah, if you're thinking about coming out, now's the time to make your decision, because if you wait too long, there might not be the seat you're looking for.
Right. 972 Rangers, the number to call, or go online, TexasRangers.com. Marlon Byrd, Alfonso Soriano, of course, Rudy Jaramillo, the hitting coach. A lot of familiar faces. Lou Piniella, the manager. Outside from Wilson, 2-2. Not to give the Orioles short shrift, we should mention that the O's are in the next 2 nights. Baltimore's not packing them in, though, like the Cubs do. Little flare into the crowd from Matsui. 7:05 game tomorrow night. It's $1 hot dog night. And then, yeah, starting Friday night, the Cubs for 3, including a 6:05 game Saturday night. That'll be a nationally televised game in prime time. And that one could be very close to a sellout. Breaking ball stays up. Another full count. It was just an 11-pitch first inning for CJ. But now 14 pitches to get through not even 3 batters in the second. Hunter, pretty good lead, not going. And another foul from Matsui. He does battle the lefties, as we said. The 29-year-old C.J. Wilson, we mentioned, a Southern California native. Same as Jared Weaver, the guy who's pitching against tonight. Matsui got a piece, and Trainer couldn't hold it. Almost had him.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing a catcher really can't catch, that foul tip. He has his glove where the ball, he anticipates the ball coming and hopes that it sticks in there. But that's kind of pot luck right there.
Yeah.
If it'll stick in your glove. It kind of hit the side of his glove.
And just kind of dripped out.
No one has the reflexes to redirect their glove where a foul tip is going to go.
9th pitch of this at bat. Hunter's going. Trainer's throwing. And it's good night, Torrey Hunter, on a strike him out, throw him out double play.
That's a thing of beauty.
2 strikeouts for C.J. Wilson now. And he keeps it at 0-0. Bottom of the second coming up. 10 All-Star Game in Anaheim. You can help send your favorite Ranger to this year's game by voting up to 25 times. Log on right now, TexasRangers.com. Cast your ballot. Josh Hamilton has been there, done that. The guy on deck, same thing. Nelson Cruz. Those are the last two runners up in the home run derby. Hamilton losing out to Justin Morneau in New York. Nelly Cruz losing out to his one-time Milwaukee teammate Prince Fielder last year. Hamilton, who has fed a steady diet of off-speed and breaking stuff in Toronto. Seeing much of the same here from Weaver right now. It was a road trip to absolutely forget and try to just bury for Josh Hamilton. 1 out of 13 with 9 strikeouts. And he got what can be termed a reluctant night off last night. I think every player wants to be able to hit his way out of a slump, even if it's just a weekend's worth of slump. But I think Hambone also understands that Ron Washington has his best interests at heart. Sit him down just for a game. Hitting that one on the screws, but on one hop.
Yeah, I think Ron has to have the best interest of each player, but even more than that, he has to have the best interest of the team. And he has to do what he thinks is in the best interest of the team in any given game. And the players respect that. And I don't think Ron is surprised to know that players don't always agree with those kind of decisions, because every player wants to try. But that's what makes being a manager so hard. But that's why a manager is a leader and gets paid a lot of money to make those kind of decisions. What lineup gives us the best chance to win, and what lineup is in the best interest of all the players.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Exactly. And sometimes the player's not going to recognize that it is his need to get a day off. He's not going to agree with it, but in the long run, maybe it is the best thing.
And I think Ron Washington appreciates that. I mean, that means he's a competitor. He wants to be out there earning his money, swinging the bat.
He'd kind of feel funny if he went up to Josh and said, "Hey, listen, big guy, I'm going to give you the day off." "Oh, man, thanks. I was hoping you'd say that."
That's great.
Thank you, man. I didn't want to play anyway. No, that's not the answer you want to hear.
Nelson Cruz will draw a walk. Weaver doesn't allow that many, but he pitched very carefully there to Nelson Cruz with a rookie on deck. Jared Weaver does not have a strikeout yet. He came in tied for the American League lead, fresh off a 12 strikeout performance against Tampa Bay. It's kind of under the radar, I guess, Tag, but of all major league pitchers right now who have at least 50 decisions, the best winning percentage belongs to Jared Weaver. He is 55-29 lifetime.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And if you look at another Angel starter who's in the top 3, you got Joe Saunders. Weaver's first, Saunders is third. And that's a pretty good testament to how successful the Angels have been drafting, signing, and developing players. When you've got 2 young pitchers, both #1 draft choices, who early in their careers are in the top 3 in winning percentage. That's pretty good statement about your scouting system right there. That's what every team strives for. It's so difficult for most teams to sign a free agent who's a front line starter. You're looking at minimum of $60 million, and for some guys it's over $100 million to sign that guy. But if you can draft one, develop them, and get him to the big leagues, you've got him for at least 6 years. And if he develops into that kind of pitcher in the first or second year, you've really got yourself a very valuable pitcher. And you might lose him after 6 years, but you've got control of him for at least 6 big league seasons.
Breaking ball rolled in there on 2-0 for a strike. Jared Weaver displaced his older brother Jeff in this Angels rotation in the summer of 2006. That was kind of awkward. Jeff Weaver has kicked around a little bit since then. Jared Weaver has emerged as the ace of this staff this year. He and his brother Jeff are 6 years apart, but they have the exact same look and same delivery. All arms and elbows and awkward angles. The same kind of open-mouthed look in. Get the sign. Foul tip. Jared's brother Jeff was called Dream Weaver for the Gary Wright song of years gone by. Do you watch Glee at all? You ever watch Glee?
I do watch Glee.
Dream Weaver is the featured song tonight, as a matter of fact,
really?
on another network. We just so happen to have Dream Weaver pitching against the Rangers right now. We're brother of Dream.
Can't say I'm an avid fan. My wife watches it, and I'll watch it with her.
That is like a wife's show, you're right.
Yeah, but she shows support. She watches 24 with me and suffers through Jack Bauer.
Makes the world go round.
The least I can do is sit there and watch Glee with her. Actually, plenty of times I like it.
Gary Wright, the writer of that song, which was famous back in the 70s, is a baseball fan. He has met both of the Weavers, both Jeff and Jared. Three-two. Towering fly ball from Justin Smoke.
Justin did that with men on first and third and one out late in the game yesterday. A fastball that he had a good swing on, just got underneath it a little bit.
Well, and another thing we should mention about Jared Weaver, he does get a lot of fly balls. He is what is known as a fly ball, not a ground ball pitcher.
Yeah, that was a good pitch to hit, too, right in the middle of the plate. We've been talking about Justin. His average has been below 200, and that's just 0 for 1 right there. But it's not the kind of bat that you go up there against one of the best strikeout guys in the league this year and flail away 3 times and go back to the bench and look overmatched. He battled up there. He saw 5 or 6 pitches. He finally got a decent pitch to hit. He had a good swing at it. He just got underneath it. So that kind of at bat looks like a good at bat. It wasn't an overmatched type at bat. He had a good swing. He just didn't hit it.
Pitching out, but nothing happening. Matt Trainer, 6 for his last 38. Trying to get back on track here a little bit. Max Ramirez has done a nice job when he's played. Matt continues to call a great game, smother every pitch in the dirt. And now to get the hits to start falling in again, that would make a more complete version of Matt Trainer. Matt ended up coming on to catch the 9th inning yesterday. That 4-3 win for the Rangers, and Neftali Feliz got the save. Looked great doing it, too. Nelly is going this time. Strike taken, and the throw is going to be in time. Great tag. The base came out of its mooring. And Nelson Cruz is out. That means Trainer will be at the plate to lead things off in the third. Top of the third, though, coming up after this. It's new from AT&T. Go to att.com for details. Well, the Southern California born and bred C.J. Wilson pitching on a Southern California kind of night tonight. 80 degrees and pleasant. And taking on the team from Orange County, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They've won this division 5 of the last 6 years. The Rangers desperately trying to knock them off here in 2010. Right now they've got a 3.5 game lead against them. Rivera, Napoli, and Wood, bottom third. Mike Scioscia's batting order here in the top of the 3rd inning.
You look at Rivera, his average is a little bit lower than it normally is. One thing that the stats bear out with him, he's a second half player. His numbers in the second half are, on average, much better than the first half. His average is about 50 points higher. And he's got twice as many home runs in the second half as he does in the first half. Oh, he's just warming up for the stretch run.
Yeah, usually right around his birthday, July 3rd, is when everything kicks right into gear for him. And for the Angels, as a collective last year, that kind of happened as well. They had some fits and starts last year. Of course, they had the tragic death of their young pitcher, Nick Adenhart. And it took them a while to recover from the heartbreak of that. Had a bunch of injuries they were dealing with, but as usual, they got it right.
Yep.
They won 100 games in 2008. Close to that in 09. Mike Scioscia, in 11 years on the job, has simply put them in a position to win every time. They've averaged 94 wins a year the last 5 seasons. That ball popped near Justin Smoke. Wandering over. Makes the catch. Everybody said last year the Angels would be vulnerable. They had lost Mark Teixeira and Francisco Rodriguez. Lost John Garland. Lost Garrett Anderson. And again, at the end, there they were.
Yeah, I agree with what many of the experts say about teams that have won consistently over a long period of time. That you have to treat them as the favorite, even when it looks like they shouldn't be the favorite, until someone can actually knock them off. And until that happens this year, I think you have to look at the Angels like they're the favorite. They've got experience. They may not on paper be quite as strong as they were last year, but they're still a good team with good starting pitching. And it's probably going to boil down to if their bullpen gets straightened out. How good can they be? But I don't think anybody that knows the American League West is counting out the Angels by any stretch of the imagination. They got some good arms out there. They're just off to a bad start.
Upstairs to Mike Napoli. He homered yesterday to break up the Derek Holland shutout bid and then almost took Feliz out. That would have tied the game in the 9th, but with no wind blowing last night, Julio Borbon pressed up against the wall, got it.
I think anybody that's watched games here consistently over a long period of time thought that ball was gone when he hit it.
Napoli is gone right here. 3rd strikeout for CJ.
Nothing fancy there. He just threw the fastball right by him.
35 strikeouts for Napoli and 90 at bats. I like that about CJ. I mean, not that Napoli isn't a guy that can beat you. I mean, he takes a big swing, but CJ just has the confidence that, all right, this guy, I can maybe throw it by this guy. And you're right, nothing too fancy right there. Just here, see if you can hit this.
And if that was CJ's fastball all the time, Napoli would have a little different swing at it probably. But because of all the different varieties of pitches he throws, sometimes when you see a fastball in a good location, you're not ready for it. You're not expecting it to be there. And no pitcher, even as good as well as CJ is pitching this year, can throw the ball where he wants to every time. Or even close to every time. The good ones just do it a lot more often than the mediocre ones.
Well, and CJ has certainly gotten to that good category, if not beyond it, leading the league in ERA at 1.48. Actually, a bit lower than that now because he's at 2 2/3 innings with a 0 on the board tonight.
Yeah, I think CJ's changeup, and this is a changeup right here, I think CJ's changeup has really developed as a starter when he didn't have a chance to develop as much as a reliever. It's a really good pitch for him now.
Looking very much like he might represent the American League exquisitely in mid-July in the All-Star game, isn't he? Angels nothing and the Rangers nothing. In the Orioles, it's a $1 hot dog night and a Dr. Pepper autograph Wednesday. Ranger players and coaches will be signing autographs out in the concourse from 5:30 till 6. 972 Rangers, the number to call to get your tickets, or go online, TexasRangers.com. We'll get it done for you, too. Baltimore's in for 2, then the Cubs in for 3 over the weekend. And Matt Trainer got a little bit of a warm-up look against Jared Weaver last inning. He was at the plate when Nelly Cruz got caught stealing. Eight, 9-1 in the Rangers' order here in the bottom of the third. Once again, C.J. Wilson has sparkled at the beginning of a ball game. Trainer jacks that one down the line, but foul.
Be a good game for Matt to have the Mark Burley game that he had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of hits, including a homer down the line.
Did not all, but most of the damage in that game against Burley.
His wife's favorite player.
That's right.
As we found out. I mean, other than Matt Trainer.
Second favorite.
Yeah. Matt hasn't been on a Wheaties box yet, though. Although Matt's own wife has. Misty May Trainer, a volleyball star. You ever been on a cereal box, Tom, or not really?
No, but I've stayed at Holiday Inn Express.
Well, that counts. That's good. How about side of a milk carton?
Nope.
Somebody told me once, I'm not in Who's Who, but I am in What's That?
You know, I've come to find out that it's pretty safe bet you can get into Who's Who if you want to buy enough of those books.
If you want to write a check. I'd rather be anonymous and have my money.
Me too.
Another foul from Trainer into a swelling crowd here. We just keep getting more and more people. Every few minutes you look up and there's more red in this ballpark. A lot of people wearing their red tonight. Got a 20,000 crowd on a Monday night last night. Probably going to be about 24,000 tonight on a Tuesday. Torrey Hunter will glove it. That's easy pickings for him. We've seen Torrey Hunter make many a home run saving catch over the years with the Twins and now the Angels. Speaking of the Twins, they got hammered by the Blue Jays today, 11-2, and those Toronto players just keep slamming home runs. Today was in support of Sean Markham. Overbay, Encarnacion, Hill, and Vernon Wells at it again. He's got 11. Good to see him beat up on somebody besides the Rangers.
Yeah, it's good to see that it's not just the Rangers going into Toronto and getting knocked around. It's one of the better teams in the league.
On the ground from Bourbon to second. Couple of 6-2 finals today. The Rays over the Indians. David Price goes to 6-1. And the White Sox 6-2 over Detroit.
Now, David Price, we talk a lot about young pitchers that get to the big leagues without a lot of minor league seasoning. Highly touted kids with great arms. Success doesn't always come right off the bat. Price is a pretty good example of that. A kid with a great arm, who his first couple of years in the big leagues, he'd show signs of being really good, but was still inconsistent and had some bad games. Looks like he's starting to figure it out this year, though. I'm sure that one of the things he's doing is locating his fastball on both sides of the plate a lot better than he's ever done, and probably more consistent with his off-speed pitches.
Remember a couple of years ago here, he had the game where he walked 6 and couldn't get out of the second inning, but you still knew you were in the presence of potential greatness. Off speed, a strike to Elvis. Now Price is now top 3 in the league in ERA. C.J. Wilson still on top. Yankees and Red Sox underway after a rain delay. The Yankees lead 2-0 in the second. And poor Kevin Millwood still doesn't have a win. He's matched up against Zach Greinke tonight for Baltimore. The Royals lead 3-1 in the 8th. Line shot, base hit, Elvis Andrus.
That's another good at bat. 5 pitches in that at bat.
Come to expect that from Elvis now.
You battle up there and you fight off the tough pitches, even against a really good pitcher like Weaver. Eventually you're going to get a good pitch to hit, and then it's up to the hitter to take advantage of it. And Elvis battled through some pretty good pitcher's pitches and then got one right in the center of the plate and ripped it up the middle. Those are the ones you don't want to miss. You don't want to pop that up, foul it off. That's your chance in that at bat to do some damage.
Runs figure to be at a premium tonight. 2 of the top 8 ERAs in the AL on display. CJ at number 1, Jared Weaver number 8. CJ's ERA now, Tom, with these 3 scoreless innings, is down into the 1.3s.
Pretty impressive. Weaver's been a guy the last 3 years whose opponent's batting average has gone down every year. 07 it was 280. Went down to 254. Last year he was 16-8. It was 246. This year it's around 219.
Michael Young hammers away again. This ball's going to go. Michael Young home run.
Yeah, that one with or without the jet stream, that one was going to go. Michael got a high breaking ball the first time up and doubled in the left field gap. That time he got a high fastball, and that was gone the second it came off his bat. Long home run to right center field into the Ranger bullpen on high fastball.
And 6 bases for Michael in 2 at-bats against Jared Weaver.
And the location of that pitch was almost the exact same spot as the breaking ball he hit to left field. And we were talking about even a really good pitcher can't hit his spots all the time or even close to it. He's trying to throw that ball down and away. He misses up and in, and that's the difference between maybe a line drive to right for a single and a home run to right center field into the bullpen.
Toppled the chair.
That chair.
That looked like a carnival game right there. Knock over those little clowns with the baseball and win a prize. Got the lawn chair from 400 feet. Kinsler smokes one foul. That guy in front's telling his date, you didn't want that anyway. That's why I didn't get it. That one's up and into Kinsler. Rangers did all their scoring in the third inning yesterday. They've got 2 on the board in the third tonight. Kinsler hits it high and deep, but bending, foul.
Boy, that was a hanger right there, too. The Rangers have made Weaver work, too. He hasn't struck out a batter yet. He struck out 12 in his last start, and this will be his 64th pitch in 3 innings.
A lot of foul balls being hit by the Rangers tonight. Got to be frustrating for Weaver.
Weaver in his last 2 starts has thrown 118 and 120 pitches, which are his 2 high pitch totals of the year. The Rangers are having good at-bats against him. Good 2-out rally right here, started by Elvis, ended by Michael.
Kinsler trying again, deep to left, curling, foul again.
2 ropes, 1 on a breaking ball, and that one he tried to sneak a fastball inside to him. And Ian just turned on that. That was a rope, went farther than one before it. 66 pitches coming up here.
Ian works a walk. That's a great at bat. All this happening with 2 out.
Well, they're working Weaver over pretty well tonight.
Vlad Guerrero coming up. And Mike Butcher heading out, the pitching coach.
Weaver last year threw 211 innings. His previous high was 176.
Weaver had walked only 12 batters all year coming in at tonight. Pitched carefully last inning to Nelson Cruz and walked him. Right there, that wasn't pitching carefully to Kinsler. That was trying to get Kinsler, and Kinsler just wore him out.
He wore him out, almost took him deep twice.
Rally warning at the ballpark.
This would be a bad guy to hang that same curveball to.
Kinsler goes. Napoli throws. Ian Kinsler is out at second base, and Vlad does not get a chance to swing the bat this inning. The Rangers have been caught stealing by Napoli twice. But the Rangers do score 2 runs on a Michael Young shot to right. Bye-bye lawn chair.
The Rangers leading the Angels by the score 2-0. Josh and Tom, what an event tonight. We got Robert, Lee, Bud Watson, who turned 100 years young on May 2nd, out with a lot of family and friends celebrating the big 100. How do you feel, Robert?
I feel fine.
I feel good. Now, you've seen all the greats play. You've seen Willie Mays. You've seen Babe Ruth. Who's your all-time favorite Major League player?
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth is, okay. And any tips on staying so young? How do you do it?
Fine.
Not going to the doctor? Or?
Oh, no. Stay out of them doctor's office.
There you go. And any celebration after the game? You got anything going after the game, Robert?
Going out?
Yeah. You going to do anything?
Yeah, we'll go.
Victory party, Kelly.
About, huh?
Victory party. We go
Right,
have
victory party.
Victory party. All right. Well, good to see you. Happy 100. And let's see, they got 11 great grandkids, 8 great, and 3 great, they say.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
I think Jim's mind is officially blown on that one. Thank you, Jim.
That's one great man right there.
That really is.
I hope I'm at the ballpark when I'm 100.
Wearing that cap real well.
It looks great.
That's a great get. Thank you, Jim. Eric Ibar, the batter, and fouls it away. C.J. Wilson, I will predict right now, is going to live to be 100 also. The way he takes care of himself. Only 71 years to go.
Well, that's a prediction that most of us won't be around to find out if you're right about.
Yeah, nobody's going to be able to call me on that either way. So, C.J. does not drink alcohol, never has never smoked, and he's not really, I don't know if you'd say he's a health food nut, but he definitely is a guy that is very careful about what he eats and drinks. In the air center field, Bourbon started in, now going back, and he's got it. I throw that out there because I know you can appreciate the whole, Whole Foods kind of approach.
And, I don't know if by trying to be healthy that you're striving to live to be 100, but I think what you're striving to do is, however old you live to be, that you're functioning well at that age when it comes your time.
Here's your AT&T trivia question about Neftali Feliz and his 10 saves. What's the Major League rookie record for saves in a season? Answer coming up in the bottom of the inning. Down and into Kendrick. I would think guys just in general now in baseball eat a lot better than they used to, right?
No doubt about it. You can't eat like we used to eat. It's just the food's not available in the clubhouse that used to be there before.
Hard hit, base hit. The first one allowed by C.J. Wilson. No shame in giving it up to Howie Kendrick.
Boy, that would have been pretty. Elvis didn't come too far from making that play. He's looking up at the replay to see exactly how close he did come. That ball was smoked, too. It was a high curveball. And Elvis is in the vicinity of this ball. They got the middle of the plate. And that's, again, we're talking about really good pitchers today, and occasionally they make a mistake. And to good big league hitters, occasionally it's hit pretty hard. And C.J. almost got away with that one. It's about a foot over Elvis's glove. I can remember going to Minnesota. I think I've told this on the air before. Getting off the bus, 10 or 15 players walking into the clubhouse. Jimmy Wiesner was the clubhouse guy, and he would have probably 8 forms of sweets, maybe like brownies, cookies, pound cake, and it's all there with a couple of gallons of whole milk. And every single player stopped by there, filled up a plate, got a large glass of milk, then put his uniform on and went out to practice. You probably can't put anything worse in your stomach than a pound of cake and a large glass of regular milk before you go out to play.
Speaking of which, though, we should thank Tracy Seiler, our good friend, who brought us some brownies tonight and brought you some health food.
She brought me an apple. Very nice of her to do that.
I ate a brownie.
That's okay. Anything in moderation is okay. Well, almost anything. A few things I advise against. Like, I wouldn't advise to do bullfighting in moderation.
So just not at all then on the bull.
I'd say I'd stay away from bullfighting.
All right, because I write all these down that you know, anytime there's a little nugget.
In fact, to be honest with you,
yeah,
I wouldn't go to a bullfight either. Just a personal thing.
What about parachuting from a spaceship? Are you down on that one too, or?
No, but
you could do it once.
President Bush's father, President Bush, parachuted out of a plane when he was in his 80s. So if you've got the stomach for it, I guess it's possible.
Abreu takes the strike. It's now 2-1. Bobby Abreu did not start yesterday. He had a sore back, but he did come on to pinch hit in the ninth, and he struck out to end the game against Feliz. You see Abreu up there taking strikes constantly. Nobody takes more strikes than Abreu. In fact, and that one looked like it was a strike, but called the ball by Dana DeMuth.
It's close. Might have been a little outside. Yep. Good call by Dana DeMuth. And good eye by Bobby Abreu.
Abreu took nearly 700 called strikes last year. Vlad Guerrero took 98.
Wow.
Basically, Abreu's philosophy is, if you can just kind of boil it down, is I will swing when I'm good and ready. And he's got the confidence to have 2 strikes on him like it's no big deal. Abreu has made quite a career of flying below the radar. He's usually around the 3rd best player on a really good team. He stays so far below the radar, you're jolted when someone says, for example, only Ricky Henderson and Barry Bonds have done what Abreu has. That's hit 200 homers, steal 300 bases, and have an on-base percentage of over 400. That's a really short list. It's 3 guys. Runner goes, trainer throws. The ball skipping away. It got by Andrews and it got by Kinsler. And on the 3rd base goes Howie Kendrick. A 3-2 count now on Abreu. Stolen base and an E2. And the shutout is in jeopardy now because a fly ball of any depth from Abreu will make it 2-1.
Well, CJ had a good idea Kendrick might be running. He threw over there several times. Kendrick's looking in case Abreu swings. And Matt's got a great chance to throw him out with a good throw. Unfortunately, the throw sails on him, and it's way in front. Elvis can't quite make the play. If Elvis was able to catch that short hop, and in slow motion, it looks like it's easy, but that's a tough play to make when you're running over there and you've got to make a tag.
Abreu hits it hard under the glove of Kinsler. It's now 2-1.
That's a shame. That's stealing a run right there.
And only the 4th hit allowed all year to a left-hand hitter by CJ. And just so happens to come with a runner at 3rd. That's a play that, frankly, I thought Ian might be able to make, too.
Oh, he got there. Just ball went off his glove. But if Nat makes the throw he normally makes, if he makes the throw he made to throw out Torrey Hunter, and Abreu's out, he's pitching from a windup and has a chance to get out of the inning 1-2-3.
Now Torrey Hunter unloads, jerks it to left center field, and that's the first home run allowed by C.J. Wilson in about 88 innings. The first one since July the 9th of last year in Seattle. It's the first one he's allowed at this ballpark since 2008. And Hunter, who actually had a homer against C.J. 3 years ago, is in the book against him again. It's now 3-2 Angels.
So he's made a couple of mistakes this inning. And there's a pitch right down the middle of the plate to Torrey Hunter. The pitch before it was a pretty good pitch to Abreu, and the pitch to Kendrick. He's had 3 straight balls hit hard. Kendrick, Abreu, and Hunter. And all 3 of the pitches have been right down the middle of the plate. And that's something that, you know, in the course of a lot of CJ's games, he hasn't done, 4 or 5 times in a whole game. And here it is in 3 hitters in a row.
Exactly 88 innings since his last home run allowed. That's home or road, and that record streak that he had here in this ballpark is over now at 73 innings. That's back-to-back games now for Torrey Hunter hitting homers. And a ballpark that's about half an hour from his home. Young trying to make that do-or-die scoop. It got under. And Kendry Morales is safe. 4 straight hits allowed by CJ. This is something we haven't seen a lot of this year. Mike Maddox out to talk to Wilson mid-inning.
There's nothing Michael can do on that. If he waits for the hop, then there's no play at first base. Unfortunately, when you try to scoop that kind of a ball that bounces that far out in front of you, there's very little chance that you're going to come up with it clean. That's just one of those in-between balls that was destined to be an infield hit.
Only the 5th extra base hit allowed all year by CJ is that home run by Torrey Hunter. And now 3-2 Angels are scored. Matsui struck out with Torrey Hunter running in the 2nd inning. That ended up being a double play. And the Angels, as is their wont, I mean, when they run, and they run so often under Mike Scioscia, that's pretty much how they saved this inning, kept it going. Kendrick with that stolen base, and the error allowed him to get to 3rd. Put that one right by Matsui. Infield, a double play depth. Matsui in a pretty long-term slump right now. He's 10 out of 70. Fouls it back.
See Matsui shaking his head right there. He got a pitch he normally hits. It's right down the middle of the plate,
Yeah, there's
right in the center square, and he missed it.
A lot of center square from CJ in this inning.
Yeah, and that's something we haven't seen all season long. But it's definitely hurt CJ in this inning. He's gotten away with it to Matsui.
Now he finishes him off.
Matsui's just struggling right now. Catch Matsui's when he's hot, and you won't be able to throw those pitches to him and get away with it.
Well, it's stark because everybody's going to compare Matsui to the guy he's replacing, Vlad Guerrero, and Vlad is certainly not struggling. Vladdy with 31 runs batted in. Matsui's got 19. Juan Rivera, the batter, and a high strike. There have been 4 attempted base stealers in this game, and 3 of the 4 have been caught. But again, Kendrick, that one successful base stealer, set the tone for this inning. Close to a 30-pitch inning here for CJ. Remember, he needed only 11 pitches to get through the first. Up and outside, 1-2. The Rangers will have Vlad Guerrero leading off in the bottom of the 4th. Hamilton and Cruz to follow. A trio of guys with 7 home runs this year. Chopped foul by Rivera. Boy, something about the guys who live in the Metroplex in the offseason coming here and taking over series. We saw that with Vernon Wells back in April, and now Torrey Hunter is doing it in this very brief series. In the air left field by Juan Rivera. And another Angels home run. It's an inning like no other for C.J. Wilson. "88 innings in a row without allowing a home run, and now he's allowed 2 over a stretch of 4 batters.
I think what you'll see is an inning, not just unlike it result-wise, but an inning where he hasn't thrown that many pitches in the middle of the plate. That's a hanging slider that Rivera deposits in the seats. It's just an inning where CJ's location in the strike zone has completely deserted him. And you have those kind of games, and sometimes you have them and you get away with the pitches. Guys pop them up, don't hit them the way their Angels are hitting them right now.
It's the most unlikely thing of all time. The Angels were the only team in baseball to have not had a 5-run inning this year. Only team, and now they get their very first one against the league leader in ERA. Well, CJ is going to hit his 6th batter of the season. That leads the league as well. He got Eric Ibar to start the inning on a little floating fly ball to center field, and at that point it was a no-hitter. He had faced the minimum. This is just a storm that's come out of nowhere. And needs to end soon, because remember, the Rangers are up against Jared Weaver tonight. He's got an ERA of 2.4. Swept along to short, and Elvis Andrus going the short way to end the inning. The best inning of the year for the Angels. And it came against the guy with the best ERA, C.J. Wilson. Up 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and as Vladimir Guerrero steps in, we'll quickly answer our AT Rangers rookie record, major league record for most saves by a rookie. Kazuhiro Sasaki for Seattle, 37 of them when he came over from Japan. Feliz with 10 saves already. And this was supposed to be Frankie Francisco's gig to be the closer this year. And Effie's gotten in a lot of ball games, period. Remember, he was setting up before he was closing. And in fact, there's only one other pitcher in baseball. It's been, or excuse me, in the league anyway, in the American League, that's been in more games than Feliz.
That's why you're getting, you lost 3 straight games in Toronto. That's not good, but there was one benefit, and that's that Feliz didn't have to pitch for 3 days and got a little bit of a rest.
2-2 to the longtime Angel, Vlad Guerrero, and he steps into one, drives it to left. That ball is up. That ball is off the top of the wall and out. Home run for Vlad Guerrero.
He almost did that the first time up, reaching for a ball like that. The Angel players are looking out there, but I don't know what they're looking at. Not sure exactly where the ball hit, but it definitely skipped out of the ballpark. It didn't come back. It had to be a home run.
It's the case of the disappearing baseball. Looked like it hit the top of that wall, and Mike Scioscia's running out there. Look at the location of that pitch. I mean, that is way low.
He almost did the same thing the last time up. He hit it to the warning track. Let's see what happened to that ball.
Ooh, boy. Did it hit the back wall? I think it did. I think it cleared. Yeah, it did. It cleared that padding and then came shooting back.
It hit, and then you can see through that scoreboard, and it came back.
Vlad is now homered against every major league team. The Angels are the only team that he was missing because, of course, he had played for the Angels all those years.
It doesn't come back on the field. It basically has to be a home run. There's no way.
Yep, right. I mean,
it comes back. You can see it through Vlad's face on the scoreboard.
That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I think what you were seeing was the ball. You're right. Come back down inside that chain link.
Yeah.
And there is, I mean, there's only about a 3-inch differential between that front wall and the cool stuff. But you can see it drop right down through the graphics.
It looks like it's bouncing back.
That may be the only time we ever see that. I mean, you have to hit it just right. It has to be a bank shot off that back wall. Vlad saying, I got that one. You doubting me?
The other one that was pretty cool out there, remember when David Murphy ran into that wall and you saw the side view of the wall and the indentation with his body?
Yeah.
Last year. It was kind of cool.
Looked like he was in the movie The Matrix.
Yeah.
Well, the Rangers back to within 5-3. Hamilton steers the count to 2-2.
Well, Weaver's zeroing in on 77 pitches right now in the 4th inning. So at this rate, he's not going to be around late in the game.
Towards left, that's sinking, and that is Josh Hamilton on his way to second base. Head first, he's in there with a double.
Good hustle. Josh knew that was going to be in there all the way, and he knew he was going for 2 all the way. And there was nothing that Rivera could do to stop it from happening. After a lot of off-speed pitches, it's a good fastball right there from Weaver. That's right where he was trying to throw it. But Josh was able to fight it off, bloop it into left field, and turn it into a double.
Well, this whole pitcher's duel thing is kind of going up in smoke a little bit, but it's an entertaining ball game. Nelly Cruz is up there as a tying man.
Nice to come right back and answer those 5 runs. They've done it with 1 already, thanks to Vlad.
Remember how carefully Weaver pitched to Cruz in the 2nd inning. Walked him on 4 pitches. Figuring he'd just take his chances with Justin Smoke. Hits are even now, 5 aside. Now trying to bust him in, and Nelly did not swing.
Boy, I don't know how he kept from swinging there. Did a little maneuver late in his swing to keep it from going through the zone. Now we got a 3-0 count.
Takes it all the way. Nelly hasn't seen a strike yet.
That's a struggle for Weaver. That's 81 pitches for Weaver already. Nobody out in the 4th inning.
Back to the Josh Hamilton double. He made up his mind that he was going to get a double out of this.
Yeah, he knew where the ball was right off the bat. He knows where the left fielder's playing him. And he knows there's nothing the left fielder can do to stop that from being a double. Just because I'd really like to see it right now, I'm going for the call.
Ooh, doggy. Justin Smoke,
great,
huh?
Great little thing to fire up the fans and eliminate that 5-run inning.
And get us as a collective off the schneid in the call game. Well, as we mentioned, Weaver is a fly ball pitcher. It's not a night where the wind is going to help Justin Smoke out. He's going to have to muscle up. Skipping towards short instead. Ibar steps on the bag. Is going to turn 2. And again, pitching carefully to Cruz. And then going after the rookie. It's now a runner at 3rd. 2 out. Matt Trainer coming up.
After the off-speed pitch that Justin was out in front of, he came back with looked like a cut fastball and jammed him. And you hit it to the wrong guy, and he turns 2.
Matt Trainer will try to salvage it now. But obviously the big thing going forward here, I think everybody now interested to see how does C.J. Wilson come out. Top of the order. The Angels just batted around on him last inning. A lot of pitches kind of in the middle of the plate. It was very un-C.J. Wilson-like. And a chance for C.J. to prove, okay, that was just a 1-inning aberration. Matt Trainer belts it near short, but there's Ibar again. Boy, is he slick. The 2 shortstops in this series getting it done. Ibar and Andrews. Vlad Guerrero's got C.J. Wilson back to within 2, homering against his former team. Run 4th inning. The Rangers have 3 though. C.J. Wilson trying to prove that he can settle right back down again on a beautiful night for baseball here on a Tuesday at the ballpark. Mark McLemore is going to join us in his inning. Of course, you hear from Mac on Rangers Live before and after Ranger games. And Mac, you were saying between innings, since we're on the subject of pitching, there's a guy one booth over that, now I'm using your words now, you didn't sniff during your playing days, and Mark Gubicek.
Not at all. I believe I was something like 1 for 30, and that one hit it was a questionable hit. It went off the glove of Mike Sweeney, who wasn't really known for his defense at the time. And I'll tell you what, Mark was trying to come back from a number of surgeries, and he wasn't the same pitcher. But I'll tell you what, I even asked for the ball. I wanted it. And the funniest thing about it, was we looked at each other and just started cracking up because it was hilarious.
Working with our old buddy Victor Rojas over there on Angels TV. As for this little ball game right here, Mr. McLemore, what a change all of a sudden, as we were scoreless into the bottom of the third, and now we're looking at 8 runs having been scored in the last inning and a half. C.J. Wilson's ERA went from 1.39 to 2.22 in 5 minutes.
That's not good. That is not good. But I'll tell you what, that's baseball. It happens that way. You make a couple of mistakes to a very good offense, and the Angels have a very explosive offense, and they showed it. I think that's 5 runs in the 4th inning, the most runs they've scored in an inning all year long. So you just never know what's going to happen in this game.
Of course, the Angels, when they were really hitting their stride, I mean, that's kind of what they did all the time, was find a way to come up with a 5-run inning. Just move that conveyor belt along. Just a couple singles, couple walks, another couple singles. Michael Young going to belly flop, get up and fire. Safe, the call at first. What a play, but Ivar's got plenty of speed.
You know, the other side of that 5-run inning is they didn't hit CJ's good stuff. They hit CJ's mistakes, and there hasn't been a game where he's made that many mistakes practically this year, let alone an inning. But they got, 4 or 5 pitches right in the center of the plate, and they were swinging the bats pretty well. You still have to hit the ball, and they did. They took advantage of it.
I'll tell you what, that's the difference between a very good ball club, a contending ball club, and a so-so ball club. When they get mistakes, they don't miss them. They capitalize on them.
The Angels are 6 for their last 8 at-bats against CJ. And this is something we have not seen this year, Tag. We're seeing the bullpen get busy with nobody out in the 5th with CJ pitching.
Well, CJ, as we mentioned, has averaged just about 7 innings per start coming into this game. But the 4th inning, that took a lot out of him, a lot of pitches.
We saw with the Yankees and Red Sox yesterday, Phil Hughes, who was leading the league in ERA, got his first tough outing of the year. And for CJ, just 1 bad inning, but that's enough for the Angels to lead 5-3. Kendrick sends it foul. You gotta like Howie Kendrick as a hitter, huh, Mac?
I'll tell you what, this guy can swing the bat. He likes to get his arms extended like most hitters with some power, and he can definitely hit. They sent him down last year and sent him back down to the minor leagues, and he regained his stroke and came back to the major leagues on a tear, and he's continued it this year.
Fouls another one into the crowd. We have not seen a lot of Tuesday night crowds in May like this, and the Rangers being in first place, beautiful weather, Angels in town. That's a confluence of a lot of nice things. It's a great crowd for a Tuesday in May.
I think it's a big factor that the Rangers are playing good baseball, and people are wanting to come out and see good baseball. Good young team, and they're very excited. They've been exciting so far this year, and I think they're just going to get better.
They've won 7 of their last 8 at home. I think it helps this year too, Mac, that except for those couple games up in Toronto, every game this year has been close. Rangers have only been quote-unquote blown out once, that 16-10 game. You score 10 runs when you're blown out. Even that's an interesting game.
Yeah, so And that's been the good thing. They haven't really blown anybody out, but they haven't been blown out, and that's what you want. Yes, I'd like to see them blow out more teams, but as long as they're not being blown out, and even 16-10, I mean, you're scoring 10 runs. That's pretty good.
If you've got a question for Mark McLemore, by the way, you can ask the analyst. Text your question at 57538, the keyword Rangers TV. A little double play ball would be pretty nice right here for CJ. It's settled back down. Or the strikeout. That's fine, too.
We'll take it.
One strikeout in every inning so far. Gives him 5 for the game.
Kendrick doesn't walk very much. He's only walked 6 times this year. CJ got him to chase that high fastball, a little bit high and out of the strike zone. Doesn't strike out that much either.
Bobby Abreu checks his swing. Abreu had the RBI single. It kind of kicked everything downhill last inning. Only the 4th hit by a lefty all year allowed by Wilson. I can see why lefties would have a difficult time against CJ. In for a strike, 1-1.
You know, most lefties don't like sitting in there against a guy who's got a nice slider, curve, a nice breaking pitch, and throws the ball pretty hard when he throws that fastball. They don't like hanging in there too often, so you'll see a lot of left-handed hitters get that day off. I remember we had a guy, Rafi Palmeiro. He took 2 days off a year.
Randy Johnson.
Right? That was it.
He did the same thing when he was an Oriole, too.
Yes.
Every year, 160 games for Rafi. And you're right, those 2 would be against the big unit.
Well, maybe he was just being a team player. He knew he was going to be 0 for 4 that day anyway. Let someone else try.
That's exactly it. He said, hey, I have no chance.
let's let Jack Voigt get in there.
That was it. Jack was a Randy Johnson killer.
Yeah, Jack could absolutely hit the big unit. Abreu socking one towards the alley. That's down. And Hamilton can't cut it off. It skids by him. He slips. And the Angels will get a run out of that. It's now 6-3. All the other lefties are 3 for 46 this year against C.J. Wilson, but somehow Bobby Abreu is 2 for 3.
Tell you what, Bobby Abreu is just that professional hitter. He knows how to hit. He's going up there sitting on one pitch, and he's sitting on C.J.'s fastball. He's not looking for anything else. If it's not a straight fastball where he wants it, he's going to take it. And I'll tell you what, it takes a professional hitter to be able to do that against a guy who's got outstanding stuff like C.J. Wilson.
This is just not C.J.'s game. If you go, the common thread for most of these hits is that the pitch is right in the center square of the strike zone, and that's just something C.J. has avoided all season long until really the 4th inning of this game. And no matter what kind
Tonight, and the Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. Dustin Nippert is ushered in here. C.J. Wilson had an ERA of 1.39 as he flipped on over into the fourth inning tonight, but then everything just kind of unraveled. And it's still been a wonderful season for C.J., but the last inning and a third, just not a keeper, unfortunately. And Torrey Hunter, who had the big hit off of C.J. last inning, steps in there now. Runner at second, one man out. Wilson had gone 88 innings without allowing a home run, but then allowed 2 in the fourth inning tonight. Hunter and Juan Rivera. Mark McLemore continues with us, and obviously Mac Hunter, when he gets hot, he can stay hot, and it just seems like he is in the process of getting hot right now.
Well, I'll tell you, he's one of the guys around the league that can actually put a ball club on his back and say, let's go. He's a great leader, not just a good player or great player on the field, but I'll tell you what, he takes charge in the clubhouse and everywhere else.
Kinsler will get him. There's a lot of talk, obviously, about him coming here, being a Ranger. He lives here in the area, and it seemed to make sense. The Rangers were interested, but he was overwhelmed by an offer that he figured if any team out west would make him an offer like that, it'd be the Dodgers, not the Angels. But it was the Angels that came calling.
Yeah, the Angels came in at the last minute and swept him off his feet. He just couldn't say no. I was sure thinking he was going to come here. We had, talked in the offseason, and he thought he was coming here, and lo and behold, he ends up on the West Coast.
White Sox were in on him too. There were some good offers out there, but do you figure that the allure of being on a team that just wins every year was a difference maker too for Torrey?
No doubt about it. It wasn't the money factor, and I don't know how far apart the two offers were, but for a player, and especially a player like Torrey, he wants to win. He wants a ring. He wants to be on a team that has the opportunity to win, and the Angels were doing that at the time, and they've continued to do it. So you really want to go out there, and especially the older you get, you want to get that ring. You want to win.
That ball down and outside from Nippert to Morales. And as we've been talking about, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that has been the Angels now for basically 6 years in a row.
Well, they've been a very good ball club for a number of years, and they're good this year. Their record doesn't show it, but they've also, over the years, shown that, they're usually a slow starting team.
That ball is going to find safe harbor off the bat of Kendry Morales, and that's another run that's charged against the ledger of CJ tonight. That's really something. Again, he had come in averaging a run allowed per game, and tonight he's going to be hit for 7. That makes Morales 2 for 3.
Oh, you look at the Angels lineup, and they've got a lot of veteran hitters in the lineup. Some of them have gotten off to slow starts this year. Abreu's gotten off to a slow start. Ibar is off to a slow start. Ibar, for about 200 at bats at the end of the season last year, hit close to 340. Rivera is off to a little bit of a slow start, but when they all start hitting the way they're capable of hitting, that's a good solid lineup, a veteran lineup. They don't strike out a lot. They've got some power, and they've also got a lot of experience winning too, and that's very valuable.
Matsui's been struggling. Couple strikeouts tonight. Nippert makes a move. As we talk about the Rangers trying to unseat the Angels, taking the crown, if you will. I think it's ironic. C.J. Wilson's brother has been in a band for a long time. The name of the band is Take the Crown. That's exactly what the Rangers aspire to do, and C.J. is going to be a big part of that. The final line for C.J. tonight, and it's like no other line that we've seen for C.J. this year. 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs. He did strike out 5.
Yeah, and it comes on a night where the Rangers are having a pretty good night against Weaver.
Yeah.
They've only got 3 runs, but they've got 5 hits, and they made him throw over 80 pitches in 4 innings.
Yeah, he doesn't have a strikeout yet. And he's coming off a game where he had 12.
He hasn't had a game yet where he's had less than 6 strikeouts. The Rangers are having a good night offensively. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to hold the Angels.
Rivera's on deck. And Nippert can't find the strike zone here with the struggling Matsui. Mike Maddox is going to head out. Mac, you're doing a horrible job this inning.
I am. The last couple of nights have just been, man, I think we're going to have to switch this to the bottom half.
Right, then you can't go wrong.
Well, yes, I can. We can not score runs down there, too. So.
Yeah, but you'll never be in the negative, though.
There we
go.
go.
The worst you can do is 0.
All right, I'll take that. I'd rather not get any runs and give them up.
I've said for years, if we could affect down there anything by what we do up here, it would be the first 162-0 season. But sadly, it doesn't work that way. The Rangers are 2 games up in the West right now. They've been exactly 2 games up for 5 straight days. The Rangers won yesterday, but so did the A's. As the Mariners continue to slide, boy, they are really struggling. Rip and a miss by Rivera.
Jack, I don't know about you, but I thought the Mariners were going to be a much better team than what they're showing. Even though offensively I didn't think they were going to score a ton of runs, I still thought they had the pitching that would carry them, at least keep them in the race for some time, and not be out of it after 30 games.
Yeah, they were a trendy pick by some people, and I didn't like them that much, but I thought they'd be a lot better than they are. They were going to be challenged offensively. Their starting pitching looked like it would be really solid. You got Ardsma closing out games at the end. Well, last year they won a lot of 1-run games, and I think coming into the season they might have been a little overrated, but I don't think they were overrated to the point that they're playing at right now.
They're on the West Coast tonight playing against the A's again. Rip and a miss. Down goes Rivera. Much better, Mac. Good job.
Thank you. All right, man.
See you after the game.
You got it.
On Rangers
Mac.
Live.
You got it. Pleasure.
7-3 Angels, middle 5. Your Compass Bank video summary. We've been talking all about Elvis Andrus and his defense, and we should probably give equal time to the Angels. Slick fielding shortstop Eric Ibar, Tom, has had a very strong series.
Yeah, Eric Ibar's a good ball player. Offensively, he's off to a little bit of a slow start, but he's a good, solid player. Had a good year last year, hit 300 last year, as a matter of fact. .337 last year in the last 72 games of the season. Very steady at shortstop. He's got great hands, a quick, accurate, strong arm. He's short, but he's stocky and strong and very quick.
Julio Bourbon with a 1-1 count out in front. Rangers looking to reload here. Plenty of time left. You know, they can get to that Angels bullpen, as we talked about earlier. That has been a not real consistent bullpen this year. Wave and a miss, and down goes Bourbon. There is the first strikeout for Jared Weaver. It comes in the 5th inning. We've seen this a little bit, actually a lot of it lately with the Rangers, Tom, where they're up against some pretty good arms and have those guys on the ropes early, but just can't jump on their neck. You know, I mean, they had the double with 1 out in the 1st inning tonight, couldn't score. Had the 2 runs in the 3rd. Kinsler walked, and then with Vlad Guerrero up, Kinsler was caught stealing. Last inning, they had a run in. They had 2 on, nobody out. And again, let Weaver off the hook.
That double play has hurt up in Toronto. They hit into 3 double plays the last day when they had a lot of base runners and a chance to do some damage. Double play with 2 on and nobody out in the 4th inning was the one that really hurt.
As we said, though, plenty of baseball to go. We got the top of the order up now with Elvis. And he fouls it back into this crowd. Bobbling one-hand catch in the 2nd deck. Nicely done. That high on base percentage for Elvis Andrus. He just finds a way to stay alive in a lot of these at-bats.
And what he's been able to do and is doing, he's fouling off tough fastballs that are close enough to be strikes but not good enough to really drive. He's been able to foul those pitches off. Hang in there. That was a pitch that was pretty close. And now here he is working the count. He's seen 6 pitches. It's 2-2.
And now it is 3-2 with Michael Young on deck. Michael's been the guy that's really been stinging the ball tonight with a double and a home run. Elvis Andrus to center field, a base hit, the 8th pitch of the at-bat. 2 for 3 tonight against Jared Weaver. And as Michael Young comes up, we'll show you a little bit about what he has done tonight. Your Coors Light Freeze Cam. On the left will be the double. On the right will be the home run.
They're not the same kind of pitch. That was a slider that hung. Next one is a fastball. But they're in the exact same part of the strike zone, up and inner part of the rectangle. And both of them are supposed to be down and away. And both of them are mistakes that Michael drove. One to the left gap in left center and one out of the ballpark into the Ranger bullpen.
Sweet spot of the bat both times. I'll see if the Rangers can get Michael on and let Kinsler try to swing the bat again. Michael had just homered last inning when Kinsler came up, and Kinsler about 4 times in that at bat came real close to doubling down. Michael hits another one high and deep to the track and caught. Again, the wind is not a helper tonight.
Yeah, I think the wind hurt that ball. It was high. And it looked like it was one of those balls that starts out pretty good and then comes straight down to the outfielder. That's almost the same spot He had the double and a home run. He knows he missed that. I think he hit a little bit toward the end of the bat.
The Rangers have made Weaver work, no doubt about it. He's averaged about 20 pitches per inning. And the Rangers will get to that Angel bullpen.
Glad to see Bill Harvey out at the ball game. He's just finished 26 treatments of radiation and chemo. He's feeling better. Be back on the golf course soon. He reports that his mom is 101, still comes out to the ball games, plays bridge, and watches them on TV. So, Mrs. Harvey, if you're watching tonight, glad to see you're enjoying the ball games. Hope we make a comeback for you. Bill, it's great to see you out at the ballpark again.
You put in the call here for Kinsler here too, Tag.
Sounds good.
Vlad Guerrero on deck. Sure, Weaver doesn't want to face Vlad with 2 men on. Serves something good here to Ian. Boy, that's a tough pitch. Inside corner for a strike. Kinsler has not homered yet since coming off the DL 3 weeks ago. Bunch of doubles. Had 31 home runs last year. And he's up in the count 3-1.
104 pitches for Weaver here. He's averaging more than 20 pitches an inning. He's battling through it. Guy who's averaging 7 or 8 strikeouts a start. Only has 1 tonight. That was Bourbon.
High drive, Ian Kinsler to the track. And at the wall. God, he did it.
And we are on the board. Congratulations.
Team effort, Tag. You and me.
All right.
Rangers now have 5 off of Weaver.
It came at the right time, boys. And the Rangers have dropped behind by 4. The Angels have scored in the last couple of innings, and with a couple of outs, Ian puts the Rangers on the board, gets them to within 2, and as they say, it's a new ball game.
Boy, and Ian just continues to be a grain of sand in the Angels bathing suit. It's been happening for years now. This is just a hovercraft that he sends out there in the left.
And last time up, he hit 2 line shots down the left field line that were just barely foul. And that's an at-bat in that situation. You're not up there if you're even trying to get a base hit to right field. There's 2 outs and a man on. You're down by 4 runs. You're ahead in the count. You're looking for a fastball. That's what you're trying to do. Get out in front of it, pull it to left field, and try to hit a home run.
Now the Rangers
have successful.
They've dropped a couple of home runs just barely over that wall in the last 2 innings. They've got 3 homers in their last 3 innings after having 1 homer in their previous 39. Go figure. And Trevor Bell getting ready out there for a bullpen that has not been good. Now Vlad Guerrero punching one to left. The tying man coming up. It's Josh Hamilton.
Well, Mike Scioscia's staying with his ace right now at 106 pitches. He's got confidence in him. He knows he doesn't have his best stuff tonight. He knows the Rangers are taking a lot of good swings at him, but he's going to stick with him and try to see if he can get an out here and at least be in line to be the pitcher of record in the game. A lot of baseball left to be played before you start to try to determine who the winning pitcher is. But a base hit right here might take Weaver out of the running. Home run definitely will. Good diet of off-speed pitches, slow curveballs and changeups to Josh.
Josh had been 0 for 13 before doubling to left last inning. Well, we hyped a pitcher's duel tonight and felt good about that going to the bottom of the 3rd, when indeed it was 0-0. 2 of the top 8 ERAs in the American League were pitted up against each other tonight. But it's been an avalanche of runs ever since the bottom of the 3rd both ways. To left field again by Josh Hamilton. It is foul. And Darren O'Day now in the Rangers pen. You saw Bell for the Angels earlier. Check swing. Boy, not even out of the 5th inning. 110 pitches for Weaver.
He's thrown 118 and 120 in his last 2 starts, but a lot deeper into the game than the 5th inning.
Hamilton grounds it, heading into center field. Base hit. Guerrero with those long strides on his way to third. Nelson Cruz coming up.
Yeah, good battle for Josh right there. He showed him a fastball in to keep him honest. Came back with another changeup, and Josh waited just long enough to get enough of the bat on it to drive it into center field, and Weaver will not be around to get a win.
How about that? Wilson goes 4 1/3. Weaver goes 4 2/3 tonight. Shortest efforts for both of these aces all year. The Rangers will have a chance to go ahead when we come back. A 7-5 lead for the Angels. Trevor Bell is coming. On Saturday night, 6:05 games for his 20,000 fans will receive a Rangers yearbook. And after the game, Wade Bowen performing on the North Lawn, presented by Budweiser. Big crowd expected. Get your tickets now at 972 Rangers. What a ball game tonight. 7-5 all of a sudden. And a birthday present for one Jim Sundberg, turning 59 tonight, and watching, well, what was supposed to be a pitcher's duel turn into a slugfest. It is 7-5 in the bottom of the 5th. And Nelson Cruz, who hasn't homered since April, got a chance to give the Rangers a lead with a long ball right here. Trevor Bell, one-time #1 pick, the grandson of Bob Bell, who was, anyone? The original Bozo the Clown. True story.
That's great.
This is Bozo's grandson.
It says in the media guide that Trevor's done a lot of acting since he was 8 years old himself.
I'll see, he was just pretending to throw to third and first.
Good act.
Master thespian. Nelson Cruz has not seen a strike yet tonight. He has walked on 4 pitches twice. Jared Weaver is gone, leaving runners at first and third.
Well, for Jared Weaver, it's 3 walks and only 1 strikeout. The fewest strikeouts he's had in the game so far has been 6. Most of the time he's got 8. Last time he had 12. He'd only walked 12 batters in 8 games. He's walked 3 tonight. So the Rangers worked him over pretty well tonight.
Skipping up there, it gets away. Down to second is Hamilton, and Guerrero has to scurry back to third. It looked like the ball hit the leg of umpire Dana Demuth. That's why Vlad had to jam on the brakes. But now a little base hit somewhere by Nelly Cruz ties his game.
See what happened to that ball. Yep, it hit him right in the right leg. That's too bad, because that's a run if it doesn't hit his leg. That's not one of those balls that was going back to the concrete wall hard enough to bounce back to home plate.
Jared Weaver, having allowed 3 straight 2-out hits here in the 5th inning, is gone. And Bell having a tough time getting it over. Justin Smoke on deck. Strike called.
Borderline strike right on the corner. Tough pitch to hit. Take it. Hope you get a better one right now. 3-2. This has been all about the first 5 hitters in the lineup for the Rangers so far.
Yeah, Andrews has 2 hits. Young has 2. Kinsler has a home run. Guerrero has a home run and a single. Hamilton has 2 hits. And Cruz, just a couple days after a 4 strikeout game, is on the verge of a 3 walk game. To right field, to the track, off the wall. The Rangers have tied the Angels. 7-up.
One of those games that you don't expect. But each of the 2 best pitchers in the American League have given up 7 runs tonight. And we're right back to a tie. And the Rangers still have a man in scoring position and a chance to go ahead right now.
Great job of going with the pitch.
They had the right idea pitching around Nelly. Unfortunately for them, they threw him a good pitch out over the plate, and he almost drove it out of the ballpark. That was close.
They're going to go ahead and walk Smoke, the rookie who's only been in the big leagues for 4 weeks, to get to Matt Trainer. Go righty versus righty. As the Rangers try to represent here at home. I know we're in Tarrant County, but they got the 214 area code up there on the scoreboard right now after 2 zeros in the 1st and the 2nd. 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th. And that 2 and 1 and 4 add up to a tie game now, 7-7. Nelson Cruz delivering. Close the book on Weaver. As you said, Tom, 7 runs allowed, just like C.J. Wilson. It looked like a night when we could be talking about dueling zeros for a long time.
Yeah, and C.J. didn't hurt himself with the walks. He only walked 1 batter. He struck out 5. For the most part, had pretty good stuff. He just had that 1 inning where he lost the location within the strike zone. He threw some pitches that caught the center of the plate. A lot of games, maybe you get a pop-up or maybe you get a ground ball. Today, the middle of the Angel order took advantage of those pitches and ended up getting a 5-run inning. Weaver, though, really was pretty much a struggle right from the start. He just did not have his command. And you know, on a given night where he throws 110 pitches and only strikes out 1 batter, that it was a good night for the Ranger hitters.
Run support, which had not been there for C.J. Wilson all year, shows up in buckets tonight and takes him off the hook for a loss. Trainer slashing one into the crowd. This inning started with a strikeout. And it was actually just a runner on and 2 out. And then Kinsler hit that drive got the Rangers going. A little bit outside. The Rangers are batted around just as the Angels did in the fourth.
Good call. Close pitch, not a strike.
With 2 on, Trainer sends it slowly to second base. The Rangers will settle for a 4-run bottom of the 5th and a tie game. They got a home run from Ian Kinsler. And after that, they got a big 2-out, 2. Texas Ranger Baseball brought to you by the U.S. Army. There's strong, then there's Army strong. And by your Texas Chevy dealers, proud sponsor of Texas Baseball. With Tom Grieve and our roving reporter Jim Knox, Josh Lewin. Thrilled to be reporting about what is now a 7-7 tie. Ian Kinsler had his first home run of the year in that 5th inning. Nelly Cruz with a double. Brand new ball game as we go to the 6th, the dawn of, yes, a new day. And from that Ranger bullpen, after Wilson and Nippert, here is Darren O'Day, former Angel. You can ask the question, Tom, where would the Rangers be without former Angels this year? We know about Guerrero, but how about the 2 DOs, Darren O'Day and Darren Oliver?
Yeah, both those guys have been a huge part of a successful Ranger bullpen this year. It's very tough to score on either one of them. They've been out there a lot. Darren's ERA is 0.64. He gave up a solo home run, and that's it.
To his former battery mate, Mike Napoli, for a strike. Darren was discovered by the Angels. He was a non-drafted free agent. And Casey Kochman's dad, the legendary Tom Kochman, is one that signed Darren. 06 and 07 in their minor league system. A little bit of 08, and then a 30-game tenure with the Angels in 2008. Wave and a miss. Down goes Napoli.
That's a classic strikeout right there. Sinker in for a strike, slider for a strike, high fastball out of the strike zone, swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3.
Now Brandon Wood. And he will take outside. O'Day had gone to the Mets, as you may know, and then on a waiver claim, the Rangers were able to grab him. Let go by the Mets last April. Mets were clearing a spot for Nelson Figueroa to make one start and one start only. And he didn't even win that start. And they lost Aaron O'Day, who's now got an ERA here of 0.6.
It turned out to be a great deal for the Rangers, obviously, but it turned out to be good for Darren, too. He was looking to, at that stage of his career, to find a team that he could stay with, build a future with. So he's found a home as well. Worked out well for him, worked out well for the Rangers.
One-time walk-on at the University of Florida.
Only people it hasn't worked out well for are American League hitters.
He's already struck out Napoli, and now he has struck out Wood. Ivar coming up. We quickly go to Emily Jones.
Hey guys, here to remind you about FoxSportsSouthwest.com. There you can find a Q&A with Texas Longhorns head coach Matt Brown, and also a nice little feature on C.J. Wilson, tonight's starting pitcher. And tonight I want to give a shout out to Tyson Foods, because every night when I come to you in the 6th inning, I have to invade the space of these nice people.
I always wondered which box that was. Tyson Foods,
It's
huh?
Tyson Foods, and they're all very nice, and I'd like to say thank you for letting me invade your space.
Thanks, Em. Looking forward to all that with Rangers Live coming up after the ball game. Hi, Tyson Foods. Love your chicken. Ivar's 1 for 3, scored a run in the 5th, and he's going to belt that one. They're saying foul. Looked like it hopped right over the bag. But right there to make the call, Kerwin Danley. No argument from Alfredo Griffin, the first base coach.
I think our ball girls are probably the best in the league.
I would agree with that.
Whether they're guys or girls, I think our girls that man the lines here are all-stars in the American League.
Can a girl man a line?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I'm with you. Good glove work down both lines. The 1-2 from O'Day. He's popped back into the crowd. Darren's fiance is Elizabeth Pran, the former assistant to Greta Van Susteren at CNN. And Elizabeth now working for Fox News in their Atlanta bureau. I'm sure she's got this game, well, she's not actually working right now, got the access to the satellite dish. Another foul to the left side. The Rangers will be leading off with speed in the bottom of the 6th inning against the Angels bullpen. It'll be Bourbon and Andrews to set up Young and Kinsler. Little looper, base hit. Eric Ivar hanging in there, tough at bat. And the first hit allowed by O'Day.
Got a fastball up and in, jammed him with it. Kind of the purpose of that pitch.
Now a guy who's always a tough out, Howie Kendrick. And a fly ball, right field. No sweat out there for Nelly Cruz. 7-7, bottom of the 6th coming up. Sonic Slam inning brought to you by Sonic. The jackpot worth $600 and dinner for two at Sonic. Good luck to John Anderson from Weatherford. If a Ranger hits Grand Slam this inning, we're giving away $25,000. The Rangers have hit 3 home runs already tonight in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. Now trying to unlock a 7-7 tie in the bottom of the 6th. I'll check some other scores for you from around baseball this inning as well. Hard to imagine a more entertaining game on the baseball landscape than this one tonight. Strike one to Bourbon from Bell.
There's a good chance for Julio to get something started here, leading off an inning, just like being a leadoff hitter in front of Elvis. Get that speed on and make some things happen here.
On the ground to second, and 1 out. Yankees lead the Red Sox 5-1 tonight in the 6th inning. Kevin Youkilis, who's had some kind of month, does have a home run for Boston as you see Chris Ray getting ready. The A's are underway with the Mariners leading 1-0 over the Athletics in the 1st. Got that lead on King Felix. Toronto keeps winning. Beat Minnesota 11-2. Another home run for Vernon Wells, number 11. White Sox over the Tigers 6-2. The Rays beat the Indians. Same score, 6-2. Elvis a chopper over the head of Wood. And he got just enough of it to slow it down. That's a thing of beauty. It's going to be a double for Andrews.
And that's exactly what Elvis works on. That's why he bunts. Because when he's a threat to bunt, he showed bunt on the first pitch. The third baseman has to play in. And Wood's about 6'4". And because he's playing in on the grass, worried about the bunt, that high chopper goes right over his head for a double. And that's the benefit. If you've got speed and you can bunt, then you open up the infield when they come in to protect against the bunt to be able to shoot the ground ball by him.
A 3-hit night for Elvis. He's hit safely in 17 out of 18. He's still leading the team in walks. And he's 3rd in the league in stolen bases, too. And he's 21. Amazing.
Michael's had 3 good at-bats, double and a home run, then just missed a home run, hitting a little bit off the end of the bat. He's had 3 pitches up and in that he's really hit hard so far.
Scorching that one foul.
Michael stands off the plate a little bit, so a pitch on the upper inner part of the strike zone actually looks like a pretty good pitch to hit for him. And when they try to throw him away, those are the balls he shoots out to right field.
Baltimore ended up rallying and beating Kansas City 4-3 in 10. So another no decision for Zach Greinke. Still only 1 win for Zach Greinke this year. Another no decision for Kevin Millwood, too. Young to right field. That is going to get down. Here comes Elvis. The Rangers back on top.
That's kind of what we're talking about right there. You throw him in, and he really puts a charge in it. You try to make what looks like a good pitch down and away, and he shoots that out to right field. Big night for Elvis, big night for Michael.
Well, I mentioned earlier, if you can get to that Angels bullpen, at least this year anyway, you got a shot. And the Rangers did a great job of working over Jared Weaver tonight. Got him out of there in the 5th inning.
Right down on the outside part of the plate, low and away, and just strokes it out into right field for that RBI.
Now Kinsler with Guerrero on deck. And Ian, having just missed a home run a few times during a long at bat in the 3rd, did put a charge into one in the 5th inning, and it went. Inside corner. The Coors Light Cold Hard Blast, Kinsler's first of the year. C.J. Wilson and Jared Weaver both knocked out in the 5th inning tonight. Both of them had their ERAs go up. Both of them will bounce back. If indeed it is a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way, and it is, of course, you really do tip that advantage to the Rangers. We talked in the pregame show, Tag, about how the Ranger bullpen has just been absolutely getting it done.
And already one of the guys we talked about has been in the game. That's Darren O'Day.
Rangers would like to give Darren Oliver the night off tonight, but he only threw 15 pitches yesterday to get 2 innings of work. So if they absolutely need him, it's not a tragedy, but the idea, according to Ron Washington, is to not have Darren pitch tonight. That's exactly how relaxed Darren looks when he's in the game, too.
That's what Darren will look like if he doesn't come in the game. That's what it'll look like if he does come in the game.
Kinsler past the mound. Ibar is going to shuffle. Did he get the bag? Yes, and that's a double play. That's a nice play. The Rangers, though, with a lead of 8-7, squeaking across a run in the 6th. Haven't seen from CJ in a long time, something like that, 2 home runs. But Vladimir Guerrero helping the Rangers fight back. He hit a home run off his former team. Then to the 5th inning, Ian Kinsler, his first of the year, got the Rangers closer. Nelly Cruz would tie it with a double. Rangers went ahead in the 6th inning on a Michael Young RBI hit. It is 8-7 Texas as we go to the 7th inning. Big night for Michael with 3 hits. Elvis Andrews has 3 hits as well. New pitcher coming on. We'll tell you about him in a moment. First, we go to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh, real quick time for the progressive fan of the game. It has to be Ann Bailey. She's a teacher at a junior high school in Richardson. She said to her students, hey, if you guys pass the tax test, I will dress up at a taco at the game. Congratulations. Here's the progressive bag. A new hat for you, Rangers hat, a shirt, and you guys also have a quick song, right?
Yeah, we have a cheer.
Oh, okay. Hurry. Rangers, rah, rah, rah. There we go. All right, congratulations. Great job. What a teacher here.
Thank you, Jim. And Chris Ray is indeed the new Ranger pitcher, dealing to Bobby Abreu. 3-4-5, part of the Angels' order here in the 7th.
You get the feeling those kids like that teacher?
Mrs. Taco? Yep, I do. After Darren O'Day, here is Chris Ray, getting into his 20th game of the year already. And the guy that the Rangers got in the Kevin Millwood deal with the Orioles, pitching like he used to pitch for the Orioles back when he was saving 30 games a year for them. Two and two to Abreu, who's been a tough out tonight. We were talking earlier about C.J. Wilson and every other lefty hitter this year. 3 for 47 against C.J., but Abreu had 2 hits against him tonight. Glad the Rangers could pick up C.J. tonight. I mean, obviously this was the rare one for C.J. where it just wasn't happening after the 3rd inning. Gave up 5 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. But the Rangers fought back for him. That's only fair. C.J. with his work this year has kept the Rangers in games. Chris Ray will stab it and get Bobby Abreu. Ray, just like O'Day, is from Florida. Chris is from the Tampa St. Pete area.
You know, look at CJ's, not to interrupt you, Josh, sorry, but you were talking about CJ and picking him up. You know, his last 3 starts, he's gone 7 innings twice, 9 innings once, and he's given up 1 earned run in all 3 games, but he's only won 1 game. Right. So, you know, you deserve to go 0-0 on a night like this after not getting a win in a couple of those excellent starts.
Indeed, a tough night for the respective aces. Torrey Hunter was a guy that broke through against C.J. Wilson. The first home run that C.J. had allowed in 88 innings. That in the 4th. The Rangers, a flurry of home run activity too. Michael Young, number 4. Vlad Guerrero, number 8. Ian Kinsler, number 1. Got him.
Oh, a nice slider. Hard, short, quick slider. Yeah, it's in the vicinity of the outside corner. Torrey didn't
Great
think
reaction,
so.
huh? Got to be careful here with Kendry Morales, 2 for 3 tonight. And the most home runs of any American League player since the All-Star break last year.
One reason why the Ranger relievers have been able to pitch so frequently is Ron Washington and Mike Maddox don't let the guy go out there for the 2nd inning. Very seldom do you see one of the relievers. Last night Darren did it, but he did it in 15 pitches for 2 innings. And I think the feeling is if you can go out there and throw 12 or 13 pitches, then you haven't extended yourself and you're perfectly ready to go the next night. So they choose short stints and being able to pitch often rather than leave one of the relievers in to throw 30 pitches and pitch 2 or 3 innings.
Chris Ray getting it done.
There's the splitter that he threw a lot with Baltimore, but he's just starting to break out now.
7th inning stretch, the Rangers by a run. And let's go check out our Land Rover extraordinary plays of the game. We're going to look at some extraordinary plate coverage by one Vladimir Guerrero here, Mr. Green.
Pretty amazing. That pitch is almost to the warning track, and that pitch is out of the ballpark.
That does not seem possible.
It really doesn't. I'm sure Jared Weaver didn't expect those pitches to be hit quite as well. You make what you think it is pretty much a perfect pitch, but Vlad's a different kind of hitter.
New pitcher for the Angels, Jason Bulger, getting into his 15th game. A few too many walks would be the critique. And he's got to face, you betcha, Vlad Guerrero, who's hit safely in 15 out of 16 games now. And all those years that Vlad spent with these Angels, a .319 batting average. He averaged 103 runs batted in per season there. From the discard pile of the Angels, the Rangers have just cleaned up. Darren Oliver in the bullpen, Vlad Guerrero at the plate. On the ground is short. And a 2-for-4 night for Vlad. Makes him a .398 career hitter now in this ballpark. That too is amazing. Josh Hamilton's got to be feeling good about things. He's coming up right here. When he grounded out in the second, that made him 0 for 13. But after that, he hung in there, tough at bat in the fourth. He doubled to left. Another tough at bat in the fifth off Weaver, and he singled and later scored. When it sure seems like every first pitch to Josh now is somewhere between 75 and 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of them today. And he fought off a fastball that he looped in the left field for a double and then waited just long enough on one of the off-speed pitches to get a base hit up the middle. He's battling up there. He's grounded out to second. Hit the ball to second pretty hard. One hopper in the second inning.
Check some National League scores for you in just a moment. The Cubs, who are coming here this weekend, leading the Rockies tonight at Wrigley 3-2. Todd Helton finally his first home run of the year for Colorado. Cardinals lead the Nationals tonight 3-2 in the 8th. Washington still a surprise team. Hamilton cranks one towards center. Torrey Hunter's got it. You know what, though, Tom? I'm looking at that Washington game. I predict they're going to come back and win it with 2 in the 9th because Tyler Clippard is in there to pitch the 8th right now. He's already got 7 wins in relief. 3-2 St. Louis as they head to the 9th, it looks like. Another surprise team, the Padres. 0-0 with the Giants tonight. That game's in the 2nd, and San Diego with all kinds of pitching getting it done. But hot on their heels now, the Dodgers, who have won 8 straight.
They're making a comeback.
And they're winning tonight against Houston 3-0 in the first. Not going well for the Astros. They're 13-25. And the Dodgers, who started 13-17, now up to 21-17. That's called a strike to Nelson Cruz. Check the Jack-in-the-Box standings in that NL West. Nobody thought the Padres would be doing that.
That's got a chance to be a great race because you know Colorado is going to come back. They generally do.
Dodgers should as well, and the Giants have the pitching.
Yeah.
The Reds win again. They beat the Brewers 5-4. Got 3 in the 9th off Trevor Hoffman. As the Brewers have lost 8 straight.
They're in the last 5 days is the 3rd elite closer who's given up multiple runs late in the game.
Rivera, Papelbon, and now a future Hall of Famer in Trevor Hoffman.
Yeah.
Strike 2-2. The Marlins sat Hanley Ramirez after all that happened yesterday, and they beat up on the Diamondbacks anyway, 8-0. Ramirez yanked from that game and then had some words about his manager today, talking about how Freddie Gonzalez never played in the majors, so he can't understand
how a guy can loaf on the field,
how a player can loaf after a ball that he's kicked, apparently.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for Hanley, who's a great player, it doesn't take a major leaguer to recognize when a guy hustles on the field. You have to accept ownership for your actions on the field.
Cruz down on strikes. Rangers down in order. We will go to the 8th, and Frankie Francisco is ready if the Rangers want to go get him. Matsui coming up. By the Ford F-150. Ford is the best in Texas. By Fred Loya Insurance, where being local matters. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on.
You say where local matters. Dave Oliver used to be one of our coaches, used to go up to people he didn't know and say, "Are you from around here or are you local?" Take them. They never did quite figure out what he was saying.
Leave them scratching their heads for a month. Frankie Francisco is in the ball game. And a crowd of 22,358 on a Tuesday night in May. Nice crowd. Trying to see if the Rangers can sweep the Halos. It would count as a sweep. It's only a 2-game series, but if you win them both, that's a sweep.
Well, Frankie, his last 2 times out has been Frankie. He had one outing up in Toronto where he faced 4 hitters, struck them all out. In both of the appearances, his fastball was back, location was back, his curveball was back, splitter was back. There it is for a strike right off the bat.
The one guy that's always given him issues looms on deck. That is Juan Rivera. I think it's really important for him to get Matsui right here. Rivera is 4 for 6 with 3 home runs against Frankie, and he's next.
Two straight splitters.
And Matsui, who's already in a big-time spin, kind of stepping out all befuddled.
Sitting up there going, where's the heat? That's when Frankie was struggling earlier. That's one thing he couldn't do, is he couldn't utilize his off-speed pitches effectively. Then he didn't have the location he likes to have with his fastball. He was kind of in trouble.
There's the heat. The Rangers led 2-0 and then trailed by as much as 7-3. Tremendous comeback tonight with 4 off of Jared Weaver in the 5th. Bourbon playing really, really deep in center. Matsui just kind of bloops one beyond Elvis Andrews just a little bit. Bourbon's going to have to hustle to come all the way in.
That's generally what a big league outfield does late in a game with a one-run lead, is they protect against the double.
Yep.
Sometimes that can lead to a little single.
Bourbon is going to have to, well, not come in much at all, actually. He was positioned pretty well. Very nice to have Matsui out of the way with Rivera coming up. That allows Frankie now, if he wants to pitch carefully to Rivera. You don't want to walk him, but even if you do, you take your chances with 8 and 9 after that.
Great job by Chris Ray. He carved right through the middle of the lineup. Guys with 5 hits tonight and 4 runs scored before they faced Chris. Abreu, Hunter, and Morales, and struck out 2 of them. Darren O'Day, 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts.
Inside to Rivera. The 2 homers that Rivera hit last year off Frankie were in this ballpark. Right there for a strike, 1-1.
He's thrown 4 strikes with his off-speed pitches so far.
Darren O'Day is a pitcher of record for the Rangers right now. Club down the line, foul. Guy was on the phone and caught the foul ball. It's pretty cool. Your Jexa Energy strike zone. The 1-2. Down and outside. Rangers trying to make it 8 of their last 9 in the win column here at home. Got Baltimore coming in next tomorrow night and Thursday night, and then the Cubs. Again, Rivera, a tough out against Frankie. Twelve hits for the Rangers tonight. 9 for the Angels, who chased C.J. Wilson in the 5th. After C.J. was terrific for the first 3. In on him, and he pops it up. Will it stay in play? Justin Smoak is over there near the dugout. He's got it.
Big pitch right there from Frankie. That's what, when you hear pitching coaches talk about location, there's what it's all about right there. Good fastball, but the best part of it was where it was. Up and in, tied up Rivera. Not much he could do with it. The fact that he was trying to throw it down and away, I guess, takes away a little bit, but the point is it still ended up in a tough location to hit. He was actually trying to throw that ball down and away. It ended up and in. It went all the way across the good part of the plate to a tough place to hit. Turned into an out.
Now Mike Napoli, who almost homered late in the game yesterday, took Bourbon right up against the wall. Looking ahead to the 9th, what would be really nice, obviously, if you get Napoli right here, the Angels have to begin the inning with a 160 hitting Brandon Wood or a pinch hitter instead of the top of the order Ibar.
Yeah, I think you might see a pinch hitter there. Could be, a guy like Reggie Willits, who a non-base leadoff type guy.
The 0-2 pitch. Got him! Straight heat from Frankie, a 1-2-3 inning. To 7 lead late, and don't forget the Cubs are coming this Friday, 7:05 game on Friday. The game followed by the post-game fireworks. 972 Rangers to get your tickets, or TexasRangers.com. Get them before they're gone. Brian Fuentes is coming in for the Angels, and he's had a tough season. Although last year he was 4 for 4 in save opportunities against the Rangers. This year he's 4 for 6 overall in save opportunities, and he is no longer their closer on an everyday, every night basis. They're giving that opportunity to Fernando Rodney lately. Fuentes with an ERA of 7.04, but kind of like Frankie Francisco lost the closer's gig and is trying to pitch his way back towards being a factor. Same deal for the lefty Fuentes.
Fuentes has been burned by the long ball, giving up 3 home runs in 7 2/3.
Smoke to right, dropped by Bobby Abreu. And Smoke will end up at second base. We have seen Bobby Abreu, I would say 5 times in the last 3 years, run a long way for a baseball and then drop it. That's just against the Rangers.
Well, he had a long run, but he got to it and just dropped it. I'm sure it's going to be an error.
That is one thing that Abreu still has to fight, that reputation that he's not a good defender. He actually owns a Gold Glove. But the folks who statistically look at that stuff, the authors of the Fielding Bible, argue and have for years that Abreu is a vastly inferior right fielder. They say that last year he made plays on 28 fewer balls than the average right fielder would be expected to get. That's a big play right there, because now runner at second, nobody out. You can bump with Matt Trainer.
Well, the Angels expect him to bunt. The first baseman is way in. Third baseman is in. You don't want to bunt it to the first baseman because he can charge it and maybe throw to third base. You want to bunt it right to the third baseman, and then there's nothing they can do to keep Justin from going to third. Shortstop is over near second base, so there's no one to cover third base if you bunt it to the third baseman. Watch the first baseman's going to be charging way in. Well, even more ideal would be take a walk right here and let Julio bunt to the top of the lineup. Fuentes has also walked 4 guys in 7 2/3. He struck out 10 in 7 2/3. So at times he's been very tough. At times he's been a little wild. And at times he's given up some home runs. A little bit of everything for him.
Trainer drops it down. Napoli springs on it and goes to third to get smoked.
That's a great play by Napoli. And it's not a terrible bunt, but to be a good bunt, you have to bunt it all the way down to the third baseman just to make sure that no one can make that throw.
And it's tough because both those guys were charging in so hard. I mean, they were close enough to almost be going through his pockets right there. And Napoli just took command.
And Wood, you know, it's a kind of a tough play for the third baseman. He has to decide whether he's going to charge the ball to make the play himself or whether he gets back to third base to cover third base.
He got back in a hurry. Napoli had it all the way.
You have to make your decision quick. It's a great play by Napoli because it's not a force out. You have to make an accurate throw so the third baseman can put the tag on him.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see that one skip right into left field. Bourbon over the mound and just backing up to the bag. That's the smart play right there. It's Ibar.
He had a better chance to do that than he did to get Bourbon at first base.
Elvis Andrus will come up looking for a 4-hit game. He's going to come up right now, Tom, with a batting average of .333. He's in the top 10 in the league. And Neftali Feliz getting ready, trying to close out and get his 11th save.
Elvis's on base percentage is up over .430 now. Got a ways to go to catch Justin Morneau. .491 on base percentage.
Wow. So to be top 5 or top 10 as he has been pretty much for the last month. That's exactly why he's been elevated to the leadoff spot from number 9. Awkward because they're not holding on Bourbon. Morales has to keep kind of moving with the throw of the baseball over there.
And it's kind of an unorthodox way to hold a runner on. That's the way that the Angels do it. Instead of being on first base, they stand right there.
Bourbon's going. Napoli's throwing, and Julio Bourbon. It's been a while, but he does steal a base. The Rangers have been trying on Napoli tonight. Julio gets number 6.
Now you've got one of the best guys in the league with men in scoring position. And here's another thing. Julio just put his bat out, try to maybe get it in the eyes of Napoli to distract his throw, knowing that Julio was going to be running. Didn't even think about swinging at it.
Best in the AL right now here is Elvis with runners in scoring position.
Well, now he's got a real battle. He's down 0-2. But he's seen the fastball, and now he's seen the breaking ball.
Looking ahead to the Angels' 9th. A likely pinch hit for Brandon Wood, and then it's to the top of the order for Ibar and Kendrick. And here's where Elvis just kind of gets cooking. 2 strikes on him and just keeps flicking foul balls around.
Keeps fouling off the tough fastballs. That's probably 5 or 6 of those tonight. Fastballs up, fastballs away. Close to being strikes. Just spoiling them. Then you get one down where you can handle it, and they'll shoot it out there for a base hit.
Bourbon got something in his eye, it looks like. 8-7 Rangers in the 8th, having battled back from being down 7-3. Drifts to center. Torrey Hunter is there.
Hadn't played right over right center, but a good two-strike approach and another line drive.
Now it is up to Neftali Feliz. 8-7 Rangers. 9th inning coming. Texas Ranger Baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. By Progressive. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. And by the Ford F-150. Check out the 2010 F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. So far this year, Tech, 29 of the Rangers' 39 games have been decided by 3 runs or fewer. A save situation for somebody. That somebody tonight is young Neftali Feliz. With an ERA of 3.6, the only home runs he's allowed were back-to-back in a span of 3 pitches against the Tigers a month ago. He has struck out 21 and walked only 4.
He's coming in trying to save back-to-back games. He got to save number 10 in last night's game. Going to face a pinch hitter, Michael Ryan, right here. And a bat for Brandon Wood. Then it's the top of the order, Ibar and Kendrick.
The Angels, several times over the last few years, have spoiled the Ranger party in the 9th or 10th or 11th. And Neftali Feliz, I'm trying to kind of show that indeed there's a new sheriff in town here. The Rangers are trying to unseat the Angels here in 2010. A chance to go to 2-0 against him to start this season. There are still 17 games against him to go. In there, strike one. Welcome to the ball game, Michael Ryan. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. To make it 0-2.
A little movement on that too. It had a little right left action on it.
Got a piece at 99. Already a Ranger record for saves by a rookie. It's only the middle of May. On a night that C.J. Wilson did not see the dawn of the 6th inning. tipped away foul. Ryan hanging around. You hope it doesn't evolve into the kind of at bat that Ramon Santiago had in that Tigers game. That number 9 batter that had a 13-pitch at bat. And even though Neffy won out, things kind of slipped up from there. Now on riding in, something besides the fastball. 22,000 plus on a Tuesday night to watch the Rangers and the Angels. Bang! Out number 1. Ibar comes up next. Rangers live after the game. We bring in John Radigan.
Yeah, how exciting this program should be. We'll have lots of fans behind us celebrating what might just be a 2-game sweep of these Angels to start the 19-game season series. Lots of post-game reaction from the clubhouse and on the field. Mark McLemore will be here to help put it all into perspective. It's Rangers live immediately following this one, guys.
That guy hold this little girl up.
97 for a strike. Thank you, Rads. Hope to send it out to you with everybody in a very happy mood. Ibar wore out the Rangers last year. Hit about 350 against him. And Neffy gets him to pop it up. Back at it play. It's 0-2. 8 pitches, 7 of them strikes for Felice. Outside, as again we see a 99 on the gun. We've seen a few hundred pluses from Neftali already this year. Another fireballer watching with interest. It's 1-2 to Ibar. C.J. Wilson went 4 1/3 tonight. And then that Ranger bullpen, which has become such a strength. Nippert, O'Day, Ray, Frankie Francisco, and now Felice. It takes a village. 6 Ranger pitchers tonight.
We showed those guys in the pregame show. 4 of them what the bullpen had been doing. And they came in and did it again tonight. Darren gave up a hit. It was a little jam shot into right field. That was the only base runner for O'Day, Ray, and Francisco. And they struck out between them 5.
Foul again. The Rangers trying to build a 4.5 game lead on the Angels, and the Angels just starting a stretch where they play 21 of 27 on the road. Ibar keeps calling time.
The Angels have a winning record at home. They're 12 and 11, but a losing record on the road.
He got him for out number 2.
Almost impossible to hit that pitch after you've seen 5 straight pitches over 96 miles an hour. Throws him a breaking ball right here. Goes right across the plate, a little bit inside, and Ibar gave it a good battle, but I don't know how anyone could hit that pitch or lay off it for that matter with 2 strikes after seeing that kind of heat.
The Rangers trying to establish how things will be different in 2010. They've got an 8-7 lead on the Angels. Strike one.
And Neftali pitching on back-to-back days after 3 days off in Toronto is actually throwing harder tonight and better tonight than he was last night. He's getting warmed up last night.
Everybody standing at the ballpark in Arlington. 2 strikes to count to Kendrick.
And there's your 100 miles an hour on the last one. For people that like to see that. Who doesn't?
Play will do it again. 15 pitches thrown by Feliz, 13 of them strikes.
And the last 2 at 100 miles an hour.
Kendrick's a great fastball hitter. 2 strikes to count.
If this was a Little League game, the fans would be going, "That's a balk! That's a balk!"
That kind of sucked the drama out of that pitch right there, just dropping the baseball.
What would happen if Kendrick swung and missed at that? Would that count?
Yeah, I get to yell ball game and everybody goes home happy, and that's bizarre. All right, take 2.
A different look there with a hard breaking ball.
Shakes him off twice. Now has the one he wants.
What about letter high?
On the ground to short. Elvis has got it.
What a job by the bullpen. Came in with 1 out in the 5th inning and shut the Angels down from then on.
Big hit from Ian Kinsler to bring him back. Big night for Michael Young. A 2-game sweep of the Angels, who are now 4.5 behind the first-place Texas Rangers. Another save for Neftali Feliz. And the only time he dropped the ball is when it didn't matter. 2 pitches before it all ended.